All right, we'll call to order tonight's Committee of the Whole for our April 20th Auburn City Council meeting. City Council should have the minutes from our April 6th Committee of the Whole. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a move to approve?
I have a correction to make. Under the Citizens Open Forum, Herb Denmark spoke, and in the minutes that is, his name is spelled incorrectly. It says Dumars, not Denmark, so I just want to make that correction.
That would be for the regular meeting, right?
What's that? Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, so that would
Apologize
not
for
be for
that.
the Committee of the Whole. So that
That's correct.
addition correction, remember that when we move forward here in just a minute. Any additions or corrections from the Committee of the Whole minutes?
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. Board of Education, Mayor Pro Tem Whitten.
Yes, sir, we have one vacancy. Term begins June 1, 2021 and ends May 31, 2026. We have one incumbent, Terry Jenkins, who served one full term. At the last council meeting, we did, by majority, approve to suspend our rules for the Board of Education position. Therefore, I'd like to nominate Terry Jenkins for a second term.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any discussion or comments?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Sure.
I'd like to reiterate my objection to the suspension of the rules for this appointment. And I suggest that a letter of apology be sent to the other applicants.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of Dr. Jenkins, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Any questions on the agenda for tonight's agenda for City Manager Crouch? Any questions? Okay, Ms. Crouch, do you have any announcements or anything for us?
I do not.
Okay. Do we have a move to adjourn the Committee of the Whole?
So moved.
We are adjourned. We will get started right at 7 o'clock with the regular meeting. We'll call to order tonight's Auburn City Council meeting for April the 20th, 2021. Roll call, Lindsay.
Dawson,
Here.
Dixon,
Here.
Griswold,
Here.
Hovey,
Here.
Parsons,
Here.
Smith,
Present.
Taylor,
Here.
Witten,
Here.
Anders.
Here. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Under Mayor's communications tonight, during the Committee of the Whole, the City Council appointed Dr. Terry Jenkins to serve a second full term on the Auburn City School Board. Under announcements tonight, just this afternoon, the girls tennis team from Auburn High School won the state championship, and I believe there were a couple of individual state champions as well, and we look forward to celebrating with those young ladies and appreciate their hard work. Last week, the Auburn High School debate team also won the state championship, and so we've got a couple of outstanding group of young people at Auburn High School that we look forward to celebrating with here, and congratulations to both of those teams in their great efforts. City Fest is this weekend, and that is a great signal that things are returning to normal, and we appreciate the Parks and Rec staff and all the efforts of all the departments here at the city for making that happen, and we look forward to a beautiful day and some fun out at Kiesel Park. I've mentioned this before. Tomorrow at Auburn High School's baseball game, we'll be celebrating Joe Beckwith Day. Joe Beckwith is probably recognized as having the greatest baseball career of any local baseball player in the city of Auburn. And tomorrow night before the Auburn Central game, we will be recognizing Joe and for all of his accomplishments in his career in the major leagues and being on a couple of World Series championship teams. Graduation is next weekend, and we thank Auburn University for proceeding with a graduation ceremony. I believe it's multiple days in the stadium, and we're just grateful to have the families and back in town to celebrate with their young people who are graduating from Auburn, and just look forward to having them with us next week. This week is Victims' Rights Week, and I was signed a proclamation and took a picture yesterday with the district attorney and members of her staff and members of our law enforcement staff here at the City of Auburn. There'll be a candlelight vigil that I'll attend on Thursday night as well. There's more information about that, I'm sure, on the district attorney's website. Speaking of law enforcement, Mr. Register, I know that next Tuesday we got a big softball game between the fire department and the police department out at Lee Scott. I've been asked to come out and give the first pitch. I don't know if that's underhanded or overhanded. I'd like for somebody to help me with that, but it should be a lot of fun. I believe it's for a good cause, and I just appreciate all the men and women who are choosing to participate in that, and thank Lee Scott for hosting it for us, and we should have a good time that day and probably laugh at one another a little bit as well. So thank you for all that. And Paul, while I have you up here, I just want to say thank you again. Today the governor was in town, many of you know, and she spent about 30 minutes with us out at the vaccine clinic, was celebrating the accomplishments of what a wonderful partnership that vaccine clinic has exhibited to all of our community. We went over 80,000 vaccines today while we were out there, and that's quite a testimony to the partnerships between our two cities and East Alabama Medical Center and certainly the Chambers of Commerce from both of our cities have been leading the way, and all of our wonderful volunteers. But Paul, you and your department have really taken the lead on making this happen, and we just want to say thank you for what y'all have done, and thank you, Megan, to all of your staff. Every time I've been out there, there's been all kind of city employees that have been participating, doing odd jobs, things you probably weren't trained to do, but you've participated with a smile on your face, and we thank you for that, and it's really meaning a lot to people in this community, so thank you for doing that. Also last week, I was able to be a part of the unveiling of the World Series plaque for the 2019 Dixie Youth World Series Championship team, and I appreciate being invited to that, and that was a great opportunity to remember again an outstanding group of young people and their families who spent all summer playing baseball, representing the city of Auburn, and they ultimately won the World Series, and we're very proud of them. And then Auburn 2040, I'm going to do the best I can. We're going to do the best we can to get this started. Our goal right now would be for a starting point after the 4th of July and for Auburn 2040 to run through August, September, and October. Okay, those are things we're tracking right now and trying to put that together. We are talking to the captains and getting them all re-signed up. We're going to ask our citizens who over a year ago signed up to be on these 8 different teams to go back through that process again. It's my belief, and it's City Manager Crouch's belief, that a lot of these people might have different things going on in their life right now, and that we just need to get a new commitment from them. So we'll be making an announcement soon as when that time is for for our citizens to go back through the website and re-sign up for those teams. I still have a firm belief that this is going to be a great exercise for our community, for our citizens to help plan their future. And we're going to do what we can to make sure this happens this year as we continue to watch what goes on with the coronavirus and how it's affecting our local community. But stay tuned for more information on that. That's all I have, and I know that was a mouthful. Is there anybody else from the council who would like to make an announcement tonight?
I would.
Sure.
I just want to announce that on Saturday, May the 22nd, there will be a Unsung Hero Day at Martin Luther King Park, and it's an all-day event, and it's going to start around 10 o'clock a.m., and everyone in the community is invited. We will be honoring 2 African-American, what we consider heroes from the community, and we will have lots of games and fun, and the ceremony will start at 12 o'clock noon.
Thank you, Ms. Connie. Anyone else have an announcement from the City Council?
Mayor, I do, if I may. I just would like to congratulate the recent class of the Auburn Police Department Academy graduates. We have 5 new officers, and unfortunately, we weren't able to have a formal graduation ceremony. That's always a great event to attend because they put in a lot of work and effort. So it's very encouraging and exciting to know that we have 5 new officers protecting our city.
Thank you, Ms. Whitten. Anyone else from the council have an announcement? Okay, we'll move forward to Auburn University Communications.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anna Coker. I'm going to be serving as Director of City Relations this year for Auburn University, so I'm very excited to get this year started and work with you all. Some of the things that have been happening in Auburn lately: 2 residence halls in the village community were renamed after 2 influential African-American women. There was a ceremony last week. There's a ceremony tomorrow at 2 p.m., so if you want to live stream that, there'll be at aub.ie/Matthews ceremony. So check that out. It's definitely going to be a good time. Keynote speakers. Next, for the first time in 30 years, Auburn University and Auburn University Montgomery are not going to be seeing an increase in tuition. This is largely in part due to financial grants given by the state to the university and taking into consideration financial hardships that families have been facing in the pandemic, so that's definitely a plus. The Board of Trustees welcomed a new member to our board, Tim Vines. He is the CEO of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama, so we're very excited to have him on our board here at Auburn University. Next, the COVID-19 vaccine is now available to all students at Auburn University. This is largely in part due to Auburn nurses and Auburn nursing program, and there's been a huge wave of students trying to get vaccinated. There's a lot of interest. Most students do want to get vaccinated, so there's been a lot of great turnout for that. And then onto athletics, the women's golf team won the SEC championship, so we're very proud of our Auburn Tigers for doing that. And then also in athletics, we had our A-Day game last weekend, and we had a great turnout, and we are really looking forward to getting back into somewhat normal in Jordan-Hare with our new head coach, Brian Harsin, this fall. And then lastly, next week is exam week for students, 25th through the 30th, and then a brief pause, and then back to summer. So we're really thankful for this year at Auburn University, and we're looking forward to the fall. So thank you all so much for having me.
Thank you, Ann. We enjoyed having breakfast with you last week, too. Yeah. Megan and I had our first breakfast with the new SGA officers and leadership, and had a great conversation. We look forward to doing that monthly. Okay, at this time, it's an opportunity for citizens to communicate to the council about items that are on our agenda. Remember, at this time, it's only items that are on tonight's agenda. You have 5 minutes to make your comments, and please give your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mayor Anders, ladies and gentlemen of the council. Herbert Walter Denmark Jr., 412 Opelika Road, apartment 111. I am speaking this evening on the item 8, number E, on your consent agenda this evening. And I'm speaking as a member of the Lee County NAACP branch number 5038. I have to say all that. in relation to the appointment of Dr. Terry Jenkins to the Auburn Board of Education. I would like to thank the mayor and also the city manager and also the mayor pro tem in her absence for allowing us to meet with you all yesterday. And we understand why the mayor pro tem could not show up. Something happened. I'm sure she doesn't want to talk about it right now, but we thank you. We do stand by our position that we should make, the process should be as open and as fair as possible. We do intend to follow up, and we do share similar concerns, similar to what Mr. Griswold raised in the committee of the whole. We also share the concerns raised by Mrs. Taylor in her vote at the committee of the whole and the vote to suspend the rules at the last meeting. We do intend to work with you all on this matter and on any matter related to the Board of Education particularly. And I say that because I serve on the education committee of that branch. Now, we're aware that the Board of Education is not the only commission in which you appoint members. We were just dealing specifically with the Board of Education's process. And we, like I said, we hope that it is being wanted to make it as fair and open as possible. And also, we want to share permanent interest and common interest because we realize as a branch that any appointment to the Board of Education has an impact in some way, shape, form, or fashion on the quality of education being received by every student in the Auburn City Schools. No matter who's on that board, no matter who the superintendent is, the administrators, the principals, teachers, and most important, the parents and the pupils. So we will be back when another appointment comes up. And again, we just want to make sure that the process is fair and open. We're not asking you to violate any of the ordinances related to it. We just want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on, who the candidates are, what their credentials are, so on and so forth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who would be next? Anyone else? Okay. Close the citizens' communications on agenda items. City managers' communications.
I don't have any additional communications for you, Mayor.
Okay,
Ready for the consent agenda?
we are.
All right, our first item of business is the consent agenda. Does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item individually?
Yes, 8A.
And 8B.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll start with 8A.
All right, item 8A is the consideration of approval of minutes from both a special called meeting on April 1st, 2021, and the regularly scheduled city council meeting on April 6th, 2021.
Yes, during the regular meeting on April, you're looking at me, sorry.
You're
That's
good. You're
okay,
good.
April 6th, 2021, Herbert Denmark spoke, and his name is incorrect in the minutes, so I just wanted to make sure that there was a correction on that.
Duly noted.
That's it. That's it.
All right. All in favor? Anybody else?
Move for approval.
Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second. Does anyone else have anything? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion
And Mayor,
carries.
that was to approve as amended, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
approve as amended, yes.
Thank you. All right. Item 8B is adopting and authorizing the Community Development Block Grant fiscal year 2021 annual action plan and fiscal year 2021 funding recommendations.
Move for approval.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any comments, questions? We'll go to you, Ms. Taylor.
Okay, I wasn't here to the Friday packets meeting, and I just wanted, just for the public to understand what this is.
I will have Mr. Davis, our Community Services Director, talk through this a little bit. This is something you do on an annual basis. Our action plan and our fiscal year for block grant, I'd like to remind everybody, starts in June.
Yes.
And it starts in June. We offset it from the city's fiscal year for good reason, to not confuse the two processes. Mr. Davis will go through. Also, we had a number of public input possibilities as well as public hearings, and he can give you a good general preview and make sure we get your questions answered if you have any.
Okay. Good evening, council. The city as an entitlement community, which means that we get annual appropriations from HUD, is required annually to submit a action plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. So this is really what this process is about. The action plan must meet the overall goals of the consolidated plan. If you remember, about a year or so ago, we passed the 5-year consolidated plan for the CDBG program. So each of the 5 years of that consolidated plan, we will be coming to the council with an action plan, which outlines how we're going to spend those dollars that have been appropriated by HUD. For the 2021 fiscal year for HUD, we were allocated $645,791, which was a little increase over last year. So we were happy to see a small increase from HUD for our CDBG program. We have traditionally always had a CDBG program where we fund a multitude of different activities that benefit low-mod individuals and families. So we have continued that with this, with the 2021 plan, and we'll do the same. There are some funds in there, if you saw in your packets, for the continuation of our affordable housing program. So we look forward to trying to complete another 2 houses with during that cycle. We also have dollars in there for so a little housing rehab. We do some minor rehab projects, and some of you are familiar with some of the projects we've done in the past. We also allocate some dollars to some other agencies that help us with our housing rehab efforts. The Alabama Rural Ministry, the Presbyterian Community Ministry has always been part of our efforts to help do some minor repair work on individuals' homes. We have a section in there that we call prevention and housing, which we have always had a great deal of success trying to deal with individuals that need assistance with utilities, that may need a little help with a mortgage payment. Rental assistance has always been something that we've done throughout the years. Got a lot more with COVID funding, but we still have this as a regular part of our CDBG program. And then we do quite a few youth services related activities. We do everything from sports vouchers. A lot of you may not be familiar with that, but we work with Park and Recs on that. So if there's any child that want to participate in a league and can't afford it, then this is, and they're low mod income, we're able to help those children participate in those programs. We also support a lot of several agencies that do activities specifically for our youth, whether it's the daycare centers that provide some subsidized type daycare services for our low mod our parents, that allow them to go to work and do the things they need to do. And so we support those agencies as well. Of course, the Boys and Girls Club has always been a major one of our youth agencies that we support, and we'll continue to support them. There's a new agency we're adding this year. You probably hadn't noticed them in the last several years. It's Esperanza House. They help provide services to our Hispanic population, and so we are delighted to have them back as one of the agencies that we're going to support this time out. Continue to work with Food Bank and our senior program with the Senior Brown Bag program. Has always been a very popular program for the seniors, and we'll continue to be able to do things with our seniors as part of our funding recommendation. Our food pantry at Boykin, which we hope to roll out here pretty soon, is almost ready to go. We're working with Auburn Community Development Corporation, which is actually the nonprofit of Auburn Housing Authority. They are actually going to be the entity that's going to manage it on a day-to-day basis, but we're providing funding to support it. And we're also adding another agency, the Twin Cedars Child Advocate Center. They came to us last year wanting some support, and so they applied again this year, and we're able to do some things to help them. and our Family Resource Center, which is also one of the agencies coming in this year that we're working with them. We always add a little street resurfacing in our plan. That's part of our consolidated plan, and we continue to do a little of that. We also always looking for some available lots for our affordable housing program, so we add a few dollars in for that. A little demolition and clearing of some abandoned properties, we always add a little bit in for that. And we continue to work with our Economic Development Department with our Section 108 program. And then, of course, some funding for administration. So that's kind of a general view of what we plan on doing with the dollars this year. We always, like I said, stretch them out, and we're able to provide a lot of support to a lot of agencies.
In the public, or maybe listening at this live, so, just to enlighten them on what you're doing with the monies. But I do want to applaud you for taking such little money and stretching it out for so many services. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the council? Comments? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, do we have a motion to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
So moved.
All right, have a motion and a second. All in favor to approve the balance of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, Mayor, under ordinances this evening, item 9A authorizes the installation of one stop sign in Farmville Lake subdivision, Phase 5B. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Seeing or hearing none, is there any discussion, or comments, or questions? Okay, roll call, Lindsay.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Dixon,
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Anders.
Yes.
All right, Mayor, item 9B1 amends Chapter 23, Vehicles for Hire of the City Code to reconcile the city code with State of Alabama law regarding transportation network companies, also known as TNCs. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Okay, seeing or hearing none, any comments or questions? Okay, seeing none. Lindsay with a roll call.
Dixon,
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parsons,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Anders.
Yes.
Item 9B2 amends Chapter 12, Licenses, Taxation, and Miscellaneous Business Regulations of the City Code to include a category specifically related to short-term rental business licensing. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening?
Yes, Mayor, I have a problem. I have not had a chance to speak with the Ethics Commission to know if this is something I can vote on, so I'll be denying unanimous consent until I can get an answer.
All right, Mayor, under resolutions this evening, item 10A is a request from Dilworth Development Incorporated to assent to the vacation of a greenway easement located at 1898 and 1900 Yarborough Farms Boulevard in the Yarborough Farms subdivision Sawgrass section. A public hearing is required.
Have a motion?
So moved. Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion second. This time I'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address City Council, please come forward and give your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any discussion or questions from the council? Okay, seeing and hearing no one. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries.
Mayor, those are all the items of business we have on the agenda this evening.
Thank you. All right, at this time, we'll open the Citizens Open Forum. This is your opportunity to speak to the council about anything that might be on your mind. Please give us your name and address for the record. And if you would, please understand you've got 3 minutes, and your comments should be directed towards the council, not towards the staff. Okay?
Mayor Anders, ladies and gentlemen of the council, Herbert Walter Denmark Jr., 412 Opelika Road, apartment 111. I'm speaking as a citizen this time, and I would like to thank Mr. Dixon for making that correction in the minutes tonight. In case you don't know how to spell my name, it's spelled like in Copenhagen, Denmark. And also, while I'm here, I would like to thank the mayor and the city manager and the mayor pro tem in her absence for supplying us the information on the ordinances related to appointments to board and commission that they shared with us yesterday. And I know it's not proper, but the city clerk also needs to be thanked for handling the public records request for me. Thank you.
Hey, Herb, real quick. I can't take ownership of that. A constituent told me, so I just wanted to make sure. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. It's good to be back here before you guys again, but unfortunately, on such an unfortunate occasion.
Give us your name and address for the record. It's been so long since we've been.
Yeah, you've forgotten who I am, right? My name is Lindbergh Bernard Jackson. My mailing address is 506 Avenue A, Opelika, Alabama. I am here due to a problem in which our world is facing today. It's a very historic day in America for African Americans and people of color. And it's so historical for me because I lost a brother and his wife back in 1977 by a student that was a drunk driver, in which father sat on the Forestry Commission at the very top. Nothing happened in terms of any kind of prosecution as it did in the George Floyd case. Nothing happened. And we're faced as a nation today with a very, very serious problem. I give Mayor Anderson credit for starting out with the diversity and an inclusion department, which I don't know, last I heard it had dissolved. But we have a problem communicating in this country with people that don't look like us. And the best way to resolve that is to include people. Our rating at Auburn is about a number 3 as a city, as far as diversity and inclusion. I don't know about transparency right now, but I'm going to say this. I had an occasion about maybe a week or so ago in which I addressed Mayor, I addressed our city manager concerning this problem. And I've lived long enough to almost be 70 years of age. Went through COVID-19. Whole world is going through it. But I was approached by an officer of this city about a violation that I complied with over a year ago and explained to him that my family was going through an estate settlement. John said, okay, handle it. I handle it, okay? But I get a call. I get an email from one of his officers. And having went through Jim Crow, a lot of people here don't know what the black code is. But it has a lot to do with race. It has a lot to do with systemic racism in this country. The people of color walking out every day facing obstacles.
Mr. Jackson, your time is up.
Okay.
I know it's the first time we've been back in a long time. I'm going to give you one more minute, all right?
Give me one more minute and I'm going to conclude.
That'll be fine.
Well, what this gentleman did was he called me. He was kind of rude. On Friday, I said, maybe he's having a bad day. I will say, call me on Monday. I think I've got an appointment. What he did, when he called me on Monday, his attitude hadn't changed. He says, Mr. Jackson, he says, it's been a year. I said, yes, and I've had COVID-19, and I have been going through, and I am slowly, gradually coming back. He says, that's okay. He says, but I got a citation already prepared for you, which I hadn't no knowledge of, and he began to talk to me as if I was a second or third class citizen, saying what he would do if I didn't comply to something that I don't have no knowledge, written or email. And it's time out for that. Like I said, I've lived through more than most of you guys can imagine as being a black male. So I ask you guys to address the problem. I've sent a copy of the letter. Thank you.
Who would be next? Okay, we'll close citizens' open forum. Is there a move to adjourn? So moved. We're adjourned.